welcome to another series of The Idea Is. I'm Heidi Nash with Nash Team Real Estate. Today, I thought I would come on here and talk to you guys about multi-generational housing. It's something Dave and I are super passionate about and have definitely taken an interest in. And I'll share kind of like what we talk about, what we refer to when we say multi-generational housing. So that can be where you live in the home, your parents also live on the property, and say a sibling also lives there. So that could look like, I'm going to give an example of a 3-story home. Let's say I live with my family on the main floor and the upstairs. Maybe I have a sibling who lives in this suite down below, and then our parents live in the carriage home on the property. You're also seeing these types of homes done a little bit differently. Sometimes it is just a 2-story home or a rancher, and then there's also a modular home on the property where maybe the parents or someone is living there too. The reason why I feel that this is, I want to talk about it, is I believe that this is where we are headed in today's society. The prices of housing are really expensive. And if you say don't have rental property or you don't have that income to sustain to gift to your kids as they get older, I think how are they going to stay in the Lower Mainland and live here and where you are, be around you and stuff like that is like the way maybe we have with our families. I think it's going to come down to we're all going to need to pool our resources together. So let's say Dave and I have a bunch of equity in our home. We're going to buy a bigger property that will allow a 3-story home where we can live, say, maybe we'll live in the basement suite one day. One kid will live on the main floor, the top floor, and then somebody else maybe in a carriage home. And then maybe I can have a modular suite on the home. And I don't want our kids to be tied down financially. Obviously, I want them to all have a good work ethic, but I think that's really stressful for a lot of families. We see that. And the parents are working every day for hours a day and just trying to sustain where they're at. And how can I ease that for our kids that they don't have to follow that kind of model? I do want them to love the job that they do, like people say, right? Love what you do and it doesn't feel like work. But I also don't want them to feel the pressures that say we have throughout our lives and making sure you have enough money to pay for your houses, your kids' sports, and all that kind of stuff. If we could give them that aspect of being where they have a really low mortgage or close to mortgage free, they could enjoy life more, which I think is really important for, if it's something I can give them, I want to. I know it's not sustainable for everybody, but something that Dave and I would really love to do for our kids. And multi-generational housing doesn't have to be family as well. We know people that have done that with their friends. So both of them sold their houses and they bought a larger property and then built that kind of duplex style home where one family lived on one side and one lived on the other. And then that way too led them to be more close to mortgage free. They didn't feel the pressures and stuff like that of the finances. And that's just a great idea. The zoning, like I'm just going to speak in the Lower Mainland, like Abbotsford has this zoning, Mission and Chilliwack. It doesn't even have to be where there's the 3 style living. You can just have also just your main house and maybe your carriage home. Maybe you want to buy a house and your parents are going to live in the suite. There's been a lot of studies done that show that when parents or when elderly enter into like a care home, they pass away a lot faster. And one way to keep your family with you and everyone feeling, I think, the life and just be exposed to everyone is to bring them into your home and to take care of them. I know it's a lot of responsibility for that sibling or the child or anyone who decides to take that on, but it really does, I believe, prolong their life. I know when we were growing up, my grandpa always lived on his own. He had an apartment, and my parents, they bought some acreage and they decided that they were going to build a suite for old Papa. And he lived with us for so many years. I think that's what prolonged his life to live so long, is he was just with family. So, maybe on like a dinner, he wanted to come over and just like hang out and have dinner with everyone, not cooking for himself, it takes away that burden. And then, when he wanted to go outside and visit or just walk around the property, he had the option to go do that and to be around people when he felt like he wanted to be around people. I'm not saying those things don't come with its own trials, because definitely there were times that they did. But if you can make it work, man, oh man, it's so special. And it's something that's I would encourage people to try. So if it's something that you've been thinking about, definitely reach out to Dave and I, because that is something we're passionate about. We are following the market, and we do pay attention when those homes come up, or when the land comes up and it has the zoning that would allow for that. That's something that we would love to help you explore more and to learn more about. It's definitely, like I said before, like Dave, I've talked about this. This was done in Vancouver for a very long time. They've been taking houses and making them fourplexes or duplexes to allow more people to live on the property. And obviously, this is coming down to the Fraser Valley, where houses are going to have fourplexes or allow like duplexes or multiple suites. And it doesn't have to be done. When I talk about the multi-generational housing, a lot of times I talk about on like big lots. It doesn't have to be that. We can help you find a residential lot that allows the zoning for that as well, so that you can have someone on the main living, someone in the basement suite, a carriage home, or where it allows how they're dividing, say, the basement to create 2 suites and then the main floor. And maybe you're not interested in it for the sake of multi-generational to live with like family and stuff. Maybe you have young kids, but you want to set yourself up for the future. That's a good way to pay your mortgage. If you're living on the main floor and then you have multiple income sources with the basement suites, that could also help you to pay off your mortgage, maybe pay off faster, or to even get you into a house. So if you have any questions about it and you've been interested, just reach out to Dave or I. We would love to walk you through it, help you, and find the dream home you're looking for.